Hello and welcome to GM Talks. This is Sune Berg Hansen, your Grandmaster host, showing you a game I lost and talking a little bit about losing at chess. It's something we all experience. It's always painful. It's always sort of unnecessary, meaningless, all these kind of things. But it is, of course, a big part of the game. This game was played in the Danish Championship in the Eastern at Svendborg Hotel, and I lost to the now reigning Danish champion Jesper Thybo, my teammate from Hillerød. He's been doing very well and is 25-70 something right now, I think. So he's of course a very strong player, and losing against him is nothing sort of extraordinary, but still losing. I don't like to lose, and usually I don't lose very much. I'm very good at fighting usually, and but sometimes you lose, and sometimes you can learn something, and I think I should learn a little bit from this game, and maybe you can too. So let's just dive into it. I am black, which was unpleasant, of course, and the thing is, Jesper always more or less plays the Catalan and has studied it intensively. I had prepared something pretty serious for the Catalan for this tournament, but I didn't want to use it against Jesper. Both because I thought he was probably well prepared, and it is slightly better for white what I prepared, but also because I wanted to take the position to a more dynamic way against Jesper. I think he's a very strong player with good sense of chess. He is studying the openings a lot and are strong in the opening, but he's a little bit one-sided. He's not very flexible with his openings, so he plays the Catalan a lot, and so you can just expect to get the Catalan, and if you really take the effort and learn the main lines, he will get more or less nothing out of the opening. So I probably should just do that. But I'm not that kind of style of player. I would like to have more fight than just going straight for the draw. And also, I think Jesper's main weakness is I think he has two weaknesses that hold him back, because his understanding is definitely at the 2600 level, but he has a little bit of problems with dynamics, which is typical for Danish players. We are not born with dynamics. It's not like the Azerbaijanis that just throws the pieces at you, like really always energizing the pieces. Danes are more like control freaks. And I'm a little bit like that myself, but I played a lot against dynamic players, so I know more about dynamics than most players, even though I'm not myself naturally a dynamic player. But I think he's a little weak in dynamics. He has had bad scores against Modern Benoni and things like that, where the dynamics is coming. And also he doesn't know that. He doesn't because he's sort of sensitive to the so I don't think he's completely aware of that. Well, if you watch this video, he might become aware, unless he just said he doesn't know what he's talking about, which he might do. Anyway, so I decided I wanted to surprise him. He had no games in the Bogo Indian, the so-called Vitolin's variation, which leads to strange position that can be quite dynamic. And I was sure it was a surprise. I never played this before. I prepared it a lot, especially using this Guy Martinez games from the Title Tuesday as my sort of framework for understanding what's going on. He plays it all the time and does do excellently. But I think, to be honest, it's more because he's a very strong blitz player than the actual strength of the opening, because I think, to be honest, it is a little bit of a white. Anyway, c5 is double-edged, leads to a strange position, because now this pawn has gone away from the center, so we have this weird pawn structure, which sort of puts these pieces, the queen side is difficult to develop, but on the other hand, white has one more pawn in the center, because these pawns are here, and so on, so he can hope for something. He played e3 very fast. I don't know if he prepared this, but this is not the critical stuff. e3, d3 is the critical line. I found a nice novelty for black in what was the critical main line. So I'm not going to tell you anyway, but e3 is not considered very critical. b6 is natural, and a5 and knight a6, and we just and here black is more or less fine. Is no weaknesses. Okay, but the thing is, this could be weak at some point. That's the only problem. Also, this square is sometimes a problem for black. Bishop d3, already sort of admitting that the bishop was not right on e2. And I was a bit surprised he had not prepared something more serious than this. a6, also natural move, d6, e4, e5. I will get way too much play if he takes that, but that's never his idea. His idea is always to keep it here. If he plays d5, I'll have only good pieces. Like the knights and the bishop and so on. Another strange dynamic in the position is this pawn here. If white takes, black gets the knight to b4, but if black takes here, white will probably take back with the pawn and try to create counterplay here. And here is especially nasty that this pawn is actually hanging on b6. So that's the downside to the variation. The rest of the line I like for black is quite nice. Knight f1, natural maneuver in the Spanish, rook e8, knight e3, and bishop c8. It's sort of, there is no more pressure here to be had. I could just resolve the problem. I could just take here. The thing is, I don't like the knight here, can jump here. Another idea for black here could be, because I think it's probably the best move actually, maybe g6. And I was looking at this and I thought, but basically I'm improving my king position. I'll put the king here and take away all these squares for the knights, and hoping that the king will not later be weak at some point, because it might be. But on the other hand, if it's not, then I will have a nice sort of position. Usually white does something with attacking this pawn with the knight, so he can get the bishop, this white black to take here. This is kind of the standoff we have here. But bishop c8, I'm not sure. I think d6 is a better move. a3 and knight h7, and I was sort of confused here. And knight h7 is really mistaken. And the thing is, I knew that knight h7 was not the best move. I just didn't know really what to play, so I was like, oh, and the position is weird. And I realized that even though I've been looking at this line, I didn't really grasp it completely, what was going on here. So I think this was definitely wrong, and I somehow knew it when I played, and you probably have this feeling yourself. I thought this could be good. I thought I'm gonna try and undermine this square, so because he overprotected this square, but it's just wrong. I should probably just have played g6 and king g7, kept the pressure here. At some point when the pressure got big on this one, I should take and reroute the knight to b8. The thing is, with the pawn on g6, knight h4 in f5. The reason, now I remember, the reason why I didn't play g6 was I was afraid of something with knight h4 and a sacrifice on f5. That's also why I started with bishop c8, and when then kicking, I didn't like h6 anyway here, so a knight h7 is just bad. Make no sense. Bishop c2, strong move. The pressure is disappearing for e4, and the bishop is coming around in a very unpleasant way to the white squares, and this is white's bad bishop, and it's coming here, and I don't know what to do about it. So this was definitely not the plan. I should probably play bishop d7 or something like that. I played queen f6, pretending everything is fine, and here comes this move. Ooh, and here in and there, and already. And the thing is, when this pawn structure is here, I can't get rid of this guy with pawn moves, so I have to take it at some point unless I can play around it. But playing around a bishop like this is not easy. And I played bishop d7. I'm trying to get my piece out, and rook e3. I'm already under big pressure here. He's threatening something, moving this knight, and putting the rook here, and smashing me away. The thing is, he's probably already threatening something like knight h5 and knight h4 and rook g3 and bang, and I'm gonna die. So I got very scared here, and I played rook f8, but I'm already losing material now because queen d2 is just a serious problem. I have to play d6 because he's coming with knight h5 or something like that, and rook f3 is coming, and so I was so I took here, and he took back with the rook, and usually he would never do that, but now where he's lining up for the kingside attack, and I brought it on myself with this move. So white is clearly better here, but this is something, it's not so easy to win a game, and black's position still have some positional trumps. There are the black squares are not that catastrophic. g6 is kind of a good move. I had to play this, I thought, and rook d3, and just not losing anything. And here he took this one, and this is a mistake. It looks natural to take the pawn, but he should actually play c5, and he's just way much better. He's just killing the knight here before he takes the pawn, and then he's playing positionally instead of playing for material, and keeping all the dynamic sort of and this again shows that of course this looks very natural, and it can't be that bad to take here, but and take this was of course the problem, but I do get some compensation here after this move, because suddenly my position starts to feel a little bit better here. And here he played a very weird move in my opinion, queen a4. He won a pawn, but black does have some knights and some squares and actually some compensation. He should definitely stay active with the queen. Something like this maybe is definitely not a bad move. Just keeping the queen in the loop somehow, and trying to do something. I think that's must be better, or at least after this played here and getting ready to attack this pawn or something like that. So he played queen a4, which and I played knight c5, and he played queen c2. So very passive play here. Very passive play. Here I made a huge mistake. Actually, I'm very close to equal if I find the right move. The thing is, I was sort of getting a little bit happy here, because I felt I might not lose this, because even though I played this knight a7 and I got completely outplayed, he's backing, he's going back with the queen here, and here black has to play this move, and he has serious compensation on the black squares actually. This is more or less equal. Even though black is missing a pawn, all his pieces are good, and this knight is weird. So and the d file belongs to black, and so on. So knight d5, and we're still playing, and I probably don't have to lose. Instead, I played this move, and this is a mistake. Look, I thought it looked very natural. Just going to d6, controlling the d file, getting ready for knight f6, rook a1. I kind of underestimated that he should go here and just rook e1, and now I don't have compensation. A little bit, I didn't know what to play here. I should definitely play something else. I think rook d7 is just pointless. I'm back. I'm down at pawn, and he's slowly, and this was not. This was not the point, and suddenly we see that, okay, if I just had a pawn on this square here, I would be happy, but now it's just losing, and I'm trying to hang on, and he plays well, just trying not to lose, and he got the knight back into the game pretty nice, and of course I'm trying to hold on a little bit here. Not easy still, and this is of course a very strong move. He managed to put the knight on a perfect square where it's close to the kill zone of my king, and it protects the pawn here, and it prevents counterplay. I tried to get counterplay anyway, but this is just dead, and this is kind of easy for him. And he played it pretty well. And this move is, yeah, you can say that bye-bye, and I gave up. There's a check coming, and I'm losing something. So I think a good game by White. I missed my chance when I had it, and I think the one weakness I was talking about before the game, it did show up for Jesper, that he's sort of, he's sometimes a little bit too he should look more dynamics, I think. If you want to be 26, he should start playing dynamics opening and try to get this incorporated into his game, because in the sort of hot and cold positional chess, he's a really strong player. But of course, he will mess up against strong tactical players that are very good with dynamics if he doesn't improve this part of his game. Anyway, for me, that was, I did think the opening was sort of a disaster. Also, then I played my Catalan preparation against Victor, and I didn't win, even though I was much better. So I was, not much better, but at least a little bit better. And so that was all this preparation, and it leads to nothing. Well, that's how chess is. You look at a lot of things, and often it amounts to nothing. Anyway, I was asked to also show games where I don't win, so here you have it. Thank you for watching. This was TM Talks, over and out. Da-da.